Moving wheel, how does it balance? This is a wonder for a long time. Even after so much of technological developments, physics can't even explain why a moving wheel um, doesn't balance, does balance itself without falling back onto the ground. So, according to my theory of gravity, I proposed in a book called Gravity from a New Angle. I will explain it in simple terms. Let's take a wheel. It has some weight, right? So when you hang it onto a ceiling with a one string, probably it will break it off. And then maybe use two, three, still breaks the strings immediately as soon as you tie that wheel onto the ceiling. So let's suppose six strings of thread, we hang the wheel, and then they can hold the wheel until 1 second, and then they all break, and then wheel falls down. Let's take the same analogy and apply to the gravity, and then I will explain why a wheel balances itself. So this is the wheel, this is the surface of the earth, and then this is suppose the center, and then gravity works that way, and the wheel is moving. It's already has some kind of speed, velocity, and then it didn't start from here, so it's already moving. We are at the 1/20th second of that journey of that wheel, and then so within this one, from this point onwards, 1/20th 1/21st second, within 1 second period, it traveled 6 units. We call it as the feet or meters, whatever we want to call it. We can call it. So this is one feet, 2 feet, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 feet. So what happens is when you, because the six strings can hold the wheel in 1 second, the six strings mm, hold the wheel. The gravity of the earth is like acts like the same kind of strings, and then those six strings will hold the wheel for a 1 second period. Whatever the distance, wherever the wheel may be, those six strings gets used, consumed in holding the wheel. So because wheel has traveled this far, so the strings gets divided between the distance. The first feet, so within this 1/20th, within this the all thing is 1 second period. In that, like 1/6 of a second, it traveled 1 feet, right? So within this 1 feet, one string gets broken, and then second, within the second part, second feet, another, like that. The 160, the another last say 1/6 part of the second, the last thing gets broken. So this is how the gravity works. When you think of gravity, because when you break a wheel, break a thread, it basically you are expending the energy in breaking the thread. So the same way gravity also works. According to my theory, I consider it as energy consumption when gravity is working on between two objects. So this first second when you travel this much, so one string, like if it is, let's suppose each string is like 1 joule of energy consumption is there, not necessarily equal to the weight and the strength of the string, but let's consider that as 1 joule. So the first part, 1 joule is consumed, second, 2 joules, 3, 4, and 5. So when wheel has a kinetic energy, right, like it's moving very fast, when the kinetic energy is greater than the consumption of energy, whatever that uh, joules per second. So whatever that strength of this string um, holding this one, if the kinetic energy of the wheel is greater than the 1/6 of this strength, then it won't fall down because this very less gravity is holding. If you consider a wheel like a standing wheel like this, then gravity all the six strings keep on pulling it. Even if wheel tilts little bit, so the gravity will pull it down and then the wheel falls down, because now only a portion of the gravity is working on the wheel at this point of time. So the kinetic energy will be more than the gravity at this point. That's why it will not pull it down, pull it onto the surface of the, it won't fall down basically. So keep on moving. At one point, when the kinetic energy is less than the gravity, it like if you throw a wheel on the surface, like it keep on rolling. At the end, like it wiggles, and then that point, the kinetic energy is less, and then the gravity will be more. Then, so that's why wheel starts to wiggle, and then it finally falls back onto the earth. So this thing, so basically within 1 second the whole gravity gets distributed, and then it will slowly, the strength of gravity at this particular point will be very less. So that's how I explained why a moving wheel doesn't fall back onto the ground. So 15 years back I explained, but still physics community is in black, like in a dark ages. So they can't even understand, they can't even accept, they can't even explain. So that is the state of physics. So this is how I explain the how why a moving wheel doesn't fall back onto the ground. Thank you.